Hello, everyone. What we're looking at here is a project that I've resurrected from way back in the Unity 2, 3 days, I believe, back in 2010, 11, 12, back when I was working a lot on Unity. I've since taken a long hiatus. I just recently got back into it, just fooling around with it a couple of months ago, and resurrected this old project. So this is actually based on Unity's demo project back then. It's called the character customization um, dressing room example, and I don't think you can find it anywhere now, but I happen to have it, and I've upgraded it to work. This was, like I said, based on a very old version of the engine, so there was a lot of things I had to do to make it work again. I had to, convert the animations from the old legacy animation to the new one. That wasn't bad, but from the old rendering system, the old graphic system, to the new rendering pipeline. This is now in URP. Asset bundles, back then, it changed from the early version of the asset bundles to the newer versions, and then now addressables. So now I've got addressables working with this. So then, I upgraded the project, but I also tweaked my stitching program. So basically, I took Unity's project to serve as a base, and then on top of that, I added the ability to optimize their meshes, because what they had. So actually, let me just switch over for a second back to, there we go. So this was Unity's, these were Unity's characters. They had a female model and a male model, and whoops, there we go. And you're able to swap out the different meshes. Yeah, so like the eyes, for example, face, you could give the face a little tweak. The hair, different hair meshes and hair colors. The pants, different, types of pants as well. And then the shoes, there's two different, there's some boots, more like Uggs, and a top, and they got some little animations to go along with it as well. So what they had going on back then was they had this ability to be able to change, the meshes and the materials, on the fly. But what they didn't do was stitch everything together so that it would optimize the mesh and make it so that you only have a single skin mesh render, a single mesh, maybe even a single material and a single texture in the form of an atlas. So that's what I had going on back then. I had created a framework. It was called Skins at the time, but never really released it. I did put it out there for free at some point, and but it was in DLL form. It was no source code. And then, then I had a child. I had a kid, and that was it. I haven't returned to this until now. My boy is 11 years old now, and find myself with a little bit of time on my hands, so decided to get back into Unity, just fooling around, and upgraded this project. So anyway, so this was the virtual dressing room example, Unity's models. But I thought, how cool would it be if I could get this to work with Polygon's, Synty's Polygon assets? So, and that's what I did here. So this is the female model. You got the male model here as well. And oh, I gotta fix this. I don't think I have the left button working. Anyway, so here's their female model. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of different things that you could change: the head, eyebrow, torso, arm upper right, upper arm upper left, lower right, lower left, hand right, hand left, and so forth. So you can change these things on the fly. You can see different torso assets here, And actually, let me toggle symmetry. So this little symmetry toggle I added is because you're able to customize, for example, the left pauldron, right pauldron, left elbow, right elbow, the left knee, right knee, left leg, right leg, and I don't want to do that. You know, I just want, you know, legs. You know, if I'm going to change the legs, I want to change both legs. So that's what I added, this little symmetry thing here, to condense things and make it just a little easier. So now instead of the left and right version of the arms, for example, now I just, you know, I'm able to change them both at the same time. So it just makes things a little bit easier. But as you can see, they're being modified on the fly. Lower arms, you know, adding something there, you know, some nice little gloves. How about some legs here? Let's get some leggings on her there. Do we want, let's see, back attachment? Yeah, give her a little cape. There we go. And some little hip, little canteen. What is that? Scroll. Yeah, they got some cool attachments here. There you go. Knee. And but what about, yeah, is it legs? No, hips. Sorry. There we go. Okay, there we don't. Just getting a little nervous there. All right. So there you go. Now what? Now you're probably wondering, okay, but so what? You know, so with the Polygon asset, what you have is, what they give you is this prefab that you can, you know, instantiate into your scene. And let me move this prefab over. But now, as you can see, look at that guy. Look at this mess, right? This guy's a huge mess. It's like, and why? It's because the way this works is that these characters have every single attachment on them. You see this? All these different variations of hair, head coverings, and helmets, and shoulders, and elbows, and feet, and shoes, and all that stuff. You've got hundreds of things on at a time, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to disable everything except for those items that you actually want to wear. Okay. The problem, though, is that you're still carrying this stuff around. It's just not visible to the user, but you're carrying all that stuff around with you. So, so ideally, what you want to do is be able to just simply swap in and swap out just those components that you want to wear. You don't want to be carrying all that stuff around with you. And so that's what I did. That's what my framework does, basically, and that's what I've just recently resurrected and made working with Synty's Polygon modular character pack, and it was actually not bad. I spent the last maybe day and a half doing it, but as you can see here, this is it. This is the generated character. As you can see, there's nothing in there anymore. There's just the skeleton. This is just a skeleton of the character. And here you go. You have a single skin mesh renderer. It's using their custom shader for the URP, Universal Render Pipeline. And here you can still, you know, modify skin color and, you know, the leather, you know, colors. And so as you can see, it's changing. Can make it, let's make that reddish. There you go, so it stands out. So yeah, you can definitely see that, right? And this all works together. So for example, you know, I can change the, you know, there you go, you see the shader colors are still shining through. You know, you get to see and these assets are these are addressables. These are assets that are being loaded on the fly. They're being swapped out. And as you can see, nothing has changed. Nothing's been added here. This is still the same model, with the same, shader, same material, and it's regenerating the mesh every single time. So as you can see, he's got this. So let's see. See this mesh here? It's a single mesh and it's one submesh. It's not a bunch of meshes. It's all been optimized into one. And as you can see, he's got that little feather in the hat, and she's got this little canteen here. So let's change that. Let's change it so that the head has a different. Okay, there you go. A crown, and then we'll change that little hip attachment accessory, and we'll change it to, yeah, that boxy looking thing. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, aha, look, it hasn't changed. No, it has changed. This is just the inspector looking at the old version of that mesh. But if I click here and I go into the mesh, as you can see, the feather's gone. It's now got the crown on, and the canteen is now replaced with that little box thing. Yeah, and it's, again, a single mesh. So that's the whole idea, guys. I just wanted to, show you guys that, the way to go when you're using these kind of packs is make sure that you're removing everything and only using those assets that you actually need, because you don't want to carry around, that huge footprint with you. So this will lead to better draw calls, better performance. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Take care.